Presentation, I asked some of the students what they thought about the options presented.
I thought that adoption was just a second option to parenting the child because I thought that would be better. But after seeing the statistics and hearing the facts, and it really changed my opinion that adoption is better.
I knew the basics of adoption, abortion, and parenting, but after this presentation, I learned the actual facts and everything behind it, just not the coding of it, but everything behind it, and it was very interesting to know everything about it now.
I always thought teen pregnancy was, wrong, well, not wrong, but hard, but after hearing about the woman's, the 20-year-old, about her experiences in high school, how her teachers were so hard on her about why are you giving it up for adoption, it really opened my eyes about how hard the process really is, and the decision.
Now, when you're speaking to the students, you take fetal models into the classroom and you have the students hold the models of the babies. Why do you do that?
Actually holding that little 12-week fetus and the 20-week and the 26 and the 30-week babies, actually holding them in your hands and realizing that this is exactly what it looks like in the womb, that's powerful. Because for the first time, many of these students are realizing that this is not a blob of tissue. This is a baby. It has arms and legs and fingers and toes, and it actually has a heartbeat. It's amazing. Their reactions to those fetal models are incredible. So I am very passionate about those fetal models in the classroom, because for them to actually pass those babies around the room and hold them, that brings this message home. That this really is a human life, it really is a child, and I really do have a difficult decision to make.
Let's suppose that this weekend you get together with your friends, and one of those friends has been acting a little strange lately. She seems depressed, seems kind of down, and she finally calls you aside and says, I've taken 3 pregnancy tests, they're all 3 positive, I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. Now what? She's in this statistic now. She didn't choose abstinence, and so now she's in a very difficult place. She has to make a decision. What is she going to do? What are her options? Who would like to tell me what her options are? Yes, ma'am.
Adoption.
Adoption is one.
Abortion.
Abortion is one. And parenting the child.
Then there are 3 levels of adoption options to choose from.
The main 3 choices that you'll have is, first off, there's a confidential adoption, which is probably what most people think of when they hear the word adoption, where there's no contact between the birth mother and the adoptive parents. I actually do not know anyone who has chosen to have a confidential adoption recently. It's just not chosen very often anymore. If that's what a birth mother wants, if that's what she feels is best for her and the child that she's carrying, that's okay. She has every right to make that decision. The second kind is a semi-open adoption, which is what Joy has with her son's birth mother.
We have a wonderful relationship with Jacob's birth mother. She lives in Michigan, and I talked to her on the phone last Wednesday, as a matter of fact. We send letters and pictures and presents at birthdays and Christmas, and periodically throughout the year I send her pictures if we've been on vacation or we take a trip that we have some really neat photos that I want to send her. I'll drop a line to her and stick them in the mail, and she'll do the same for me.
And then the last kind is an open adoption, which is what I have with Jacob and his parents. We have a very open adoption. We talk on the phone, we email back and forth.
Who makes that decision as to what type of adoption will take place?
The birth mother makes all the decisions.
So she's
I'll go
in
ahead
control.
and lay that out right now.
She's in control through the whole process.
Through the entire process, 100%.
She chooses the family. She actually looks through profiles, which are books that look a lot like a scrapbook that the adoptive parents put together, and she will look at those profiles and choose a couple, and she will be shown profiles that match what she's looking for. If a birth mother says, I want a Lutheran family that want to have an open adoption, she will only be shown profiles of Lutheran families that want open adoptions. So the birth mother is in total control of the adoption process. The adoptive parents are able to tell exactly what they're looking for. If they're looking for a confidential adoption, their profile will not be shown to birth mothers who want that level of openness that they're not comfortable with.
When we return, tell me about the word birth mother.
That's one of the most precious words to me, because without my son's birth mother, I'm not a mother.
Thank you for inviting us into your home. Each week we feature real people who deal with real life issues head on. Some of their experiences are uplifting, while others will break your heart. But in the end, the message is clear. Those who follow biblical principles on the issues of life are blessed. Become a partner with us in providing a positive, life-affirming message to help change the way the next generation values innocent human life. Please consider a generous gift to help offset the costs of producing this important quality programming. You can donate on our secure website at facinglife.tv or by calling the phone number on your screen during normal business hours. Together, we can make a real difference for life.
This week I'm visiting with two women who talk to teens about the options surrounding an unexpected pregnancy. There are about 750,000 teen pregnancies each year. Christine speaks from experience.
If you had told me 5.5 years ago that as a senior in high school I was going to get pregnant and then make an adoption plan for that child, I would have told you that you were out of your mind. Number one, that's not me. I'm not the one that gets pregnant. You've got me confused, the girl on the other side of the high school. And number two, I could never give away my baby.
I understand that adoption, abortion, parenting are all connected by language. Explain to me how that's so.
We have a positive adoption language sheet that we hand out in the classrooms. Two of the big things that we hit on the positive adoption language sheet is one, keep the baby, and two, give the baby up for adoption, or even worse than that, put the baby up for adoption.
So why are these words so terrible? I asked Joy to explain the connotation behind some commonly used phrases. Now let me toss out a few adoption terms, and then you tell me why you think they're negative terms to use in the language as we discuss this issue. Keep.
Keep implies your level of desire. Keep implies that you want something, and it implies worth on an object. You keep items that are worth something, and you throw away or give away things that are not worth anything. So it implies worth.
How about the term give up?
That one is very, very negative, and I look through the eyes of an adoptive mother, and I see my child, and I see the harm that that phrase would do to his soul. He was not given up. He was not given away, and he wasn't put up. His birth mother chose adoption for him because she wanted him to have the same kind of life that she had had, which was a mommy and a daddy in a stable Christian home. And to imply that she gave him up implies that he wasn't wanted. And that's very harmful to a child. It's very harmful to a birth mother to hear those words also.
How about real parent?